started.
All right, the Rook 1977 from Greece. D4. Well, I tried knight f6 last time. Let's try d5. How about... Oh, we didn't play the Queen's game. I was thinking, how about the Chigorin? But that's not appropriate here. Okay, one of these openings with the early bishop. I think I'm just going to oppose the bishop immediately. So I'm going to play h6 so the bishop can't go to this square, and I'm just going to put my bishop on d6 and trade it off. There's probably better ways to play it, but I get into trouble quite frequently in these openings. And this this way of playing seems to help. If he does that, I'm just stopping to think, can I play knight h5 to take it, but then maybe he has some tempo move with his knight. Let's trade it off. See if he plans to take with the rook pawn. Yeah, maybe he's going to not castle or castle queenside. I can develop a knight, maybe play c5 and defer the decision on castling. I don't want to castle into some big attack if he's going to start throwing his pawns forward right away. I'll just check it out and see what he does. I can stay here in the center for a while. Maybe even go to the queen side if it looks appropriate. So he's not taking. He's just developing a very solid structure here. How about my light squared bishop? I'll put it on b7, I guess. Rook on c8. Take it from there. Maybe I can push on with e5 as well. Okay, so he breaks. He breaks with e5 first. e4. And breaks with e4, but that's helpful, I think. I can put some immediate pressure on that piece and get a good diagonal for the bishop. Unless I blunder. Well, that's a nice tactical point. Let's see. Is the knight escaping? So after the knight goes there, I move the king. Knight takes bishop. Can I trap the knight? Knight can go to the dark squares here, 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 and there. Oh, yeah, the knight's not getting out. So I should just go to f8, I guess. And recapture the knight immediately before it escapes. He can't save it with the bishop because my knight is still covering these squares. So that was a definite oversight. Okay, so he wins a pawn for it. Wins a pawn for his knight. But his development is kind of lagging. Let's see, is he going to grab the pawn? Probably taking is not a good idea. So let's see. Yeah, you gotta watch out for moves like that. They're hard to spot because that knight landed in a spot that's inside my own camp. Not where I expected it at all. Okay, I think I will prepare king to king g7 and rook to e8. I'm not sure which rook yet, but king to g7 to connect the rooks. Castling by hand, and I'm just down a pawn. He hasn't castled yet, but he could castle on either side. He might decide there's some attack potential on the king side and go there. Let's see, if he exchanges knights, I can take back with the knight. I don't want to take with a queen and have him grab a pawn. Be 2 pawns down, so 4 to 3 and 4 to 2. Yes, he's a pawn up. But less material on the board. Probably favors white. White could trade down into just a king and pawn endgame and win that. So I want to keep rooks and queens on if I can. And the knight, always a good piece to stirring up trouble. Keep a knight on. So, my h-pawn is a little bit weak, but it's on a dark square, so he can't attack it with his bishop. All he can do is line up the king. Now he decided to castle. Okay, so now my rook is free to move. I was going to say he could have tried to line up an attack on the h-file, but didn't see it going anywhere. So let's put the rook over here. Maybe play e. Okay, so he goes for the exchange. Now try and make that bishop a bad piece. Let's see, he can harass my rook from this square. Or he can harass that rook from this square. Let's see, I can exchange it off, but I want to keep the knight on, keep that imbalance. Maybe I'll get a tempo that the bishop is a bit loose now. So queen to, how does he meet queen to e5, pinning the knight and pinning the bishop and threatening to take it? My knight is loose. He could counterattack my knight. Still, let's try this. Might lead to something. And if he defends with the pawn, I can just play f5 and win it. But oh, he can defend his queen. Yeah, that's the way to play it. I was going to say he also had the move queen to queen to b5 there might have been a bit annoying too. A counterpin. Okay, is there anything here? Knight to that square, defending the queen. He just trades. Trade queens. The bishop comes there. I don't want to trade queens, I don't think. Let's hold on to the knight. Maybe knight to this square is now possible. Maybe push through some pawns on the king side. Yeah, so he's trying to maybe get rid of some pawn weaknesses. I did have the idea of rook to b8 attacking the b pawn. Let's see. This is loose. But I was just thinking knight to here. Isn't this a good square for the knight? Oh, he has bishop here. I'm not thinking these through. I am not thinking these through. Bishop there, what have I got? I have queen there. Check, queen takes knight. Yeah, it just loses a piece. Knight here attacking the queen, he can just take it. Yeah, that's too bad. So queen here defending the knight. He attacks the queen. Queen here defending the knight. Well, it's attacked 3 times and I can only defend it twice. There's no trick, huh? There's no knight move that defends the... Well, defending the queen isn't the issue. I need to attack his queen, which is still loose. So here... Well, he can just keep attacking me. If I go here, he can attack with the bishop. If I go here with the knight, he can take it. Yeah, I don't see anything. So 4-2 and 2-, yeah, so I'm just down there, yeah. 4-2 here and 3-1 there. I'm just down a piece. So, well, he wants to push my queen around, okay. Yeah, so he's not trading. I was thinking if he trades, I could maybe get a rook to d2 here. Let's see. Pawn to this square. Maybe this one. Pawn to h5, going after the king here. h5 to h4. So here, I guess he's just going to take it. It does open up a line. Maybe he's going to push the pawn forward. We'll see. I mean, he could play g4 here to keep the lines closed. He just takes. Okay, trades the rook. And yeah, I don't want to trade again. Here, I guess. So now I have h7 as an invasion point anyway. But it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Queen h7, king f1, queen h2. Yeah, he just goes to f1 directly. Maybe here with rook to rook to h2. Is that idea? Lines the queen up there, which defends. Let's see. Any diagonal I can get onto here that hits things. This diagonal here would be interesting. But he's got it all protected with his pawns. Okay, well, let's lift a rook. So that if he tries to interpose his queen, say queen to g3 to try and force a trade, I can play rook to g4. Plays queen to e4. I could play queen to, I mean, if he plays queen e3, I could play queen h4. Ah, he's piling up. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I can't really defend that, huh? I can defend it this way. That's okay. The funny thing is, his bishop only guards the light squares, so I can maybe do something on the dark squares. There was also a check, a queen check I had there. Might have been interesting. Okay, rook takes check, queen takes, I guess, is not leading to anything. Queen here. Tying the queen down to the defense of this pawn. So there's a check here, king there, check here. Yeah, on that check he can interpose a piece. Take. I can grab a few pawns, but then I have to come back and defend my rook at some point. You know what he should do? He should just put his queen on this diagonal. Okay, I'm covering this square. If you get a queen on this diagonal, it would force a trade because now my king and queen are lined up. But okay, he's just going to grab a pawn. Not a bad idea, really. So check, and then check. Yeah, let's try and chase this king around a little bit.
Check.
The queen on this diagonal, you know, I can bring the rook over to d4 here and defended by the queen. So that's something. Have to be careful of this queen check. Queen here would fork my king and my rook. Well, the rook could drop back and defend, huh? Yeah, it's a little tricky for white. His king is a bit exposed. It's my one edge, but he's a pawn and a piece up. Pawn and a bishop. Just has to figure out a way to trade the queens off. Maybe like that. But this repeats, doesn't it? I could check here.
Check.
But maybe it was better on the dark squares. I was going to say it would be nice to bring the rook to e4 instead of d4, but yeah, I don't see how to do it. Okay, so that's one repetition. If he settles for a draw here, I will pretty much have to accept it. Okay, yeah, he doesn't. He goes for a win. Interesting way to play it. So maybe rook here. Oh, he's got a check here now. Queen here, check. My rook is defended, but it's a little bit dicey. Well, I don't know. I guess if he tries to check me, I could play... No, I can't play... I cannot play f6 because it's pinned by his rook. So the check here would drive my king to the back rank. And this check would drive it over here. And then queen check here would probably be fatal. Fatal. Okay, he didn't go for that. Okay, here's my idea. I'm putting the rook... Oh, he's going to just take it. Okay. Well, when he takes my rook, I will resign here. Not seeing stuff. Yeah, that bishop. It's not just a pawn over there, it's a bishop. He didn't play that. Okay, so this attacks. This is my idea. Attack the pawn and pin his queen to his king at the same time. But he can probably just push. Well, he doesn't have to push. Yeah, he can take a pawn. Oh, that's a nice one. But is it good? There is a check. Okay, so I check. He's going to run here, and then I check with the rook. That's my idea. He can block with the bishop, or he can run out here. So I probably want to be on a dark square in those cases, right? So I want to be here.
Check.
I think. Then within my ability to calculate, oh, he can block with the bishop this way, but then I have this check. So okay, so my idea was to bring the rook over with check.
Check.
And then the queen can come in on the dark squares here, right?
Check.
There. So rook check here. Where does the king go?
Check.
I think he goes to the back rank, and then I can check here again, and then mate on G1. He can go to F1. That's the way to do it. He goes king F1, I check here, then his queen comes back. Yeah. Then what have I got? Ah, then I have the check here.
check,
Rook to g1 check. After queen e1, rook g1 check, king takes, queen takes check, and I'll have a queen against a rook and a pawn, a rook and a bishop and this advanced pawn, and maybe I'll have time to round it up. But look, its path is clear. Still, that's I'm not going to get I'm not going to find anything better than that.
check,
So here,
check,
and pick up the pawn. Wow, a lucky escape. So I really could have resigned after he won that piece. So I don't know. I don't know how to account for this game. Let's see. That's protected. That's protected. Probably. He's coordinating on the on this square. Let's see if all the pieces come off. Let's see. Yeah, let's just push this onto a dark square. So see how he wants to take. It was pinned, so I couldn't move the pawn.
Check.
I couldn't defend it, so I was just stuck. Bishop there, check. Yeah, so not so easy. Maybe I'll settle for a draw here.
check,
Although his rook is loose. He keeps moving to this square, which is, a reasonable square, I suppose, but leaves his rook loose all the time.
check,
If I can just get him to move this f-pawn forward and check on this diagonal, that would be the way to...
check,
But I can't ever win this pawn. There are fortress positions
check.
here. I think I will just
Check.
repeat moves. And maybe he's going to play for a win. Okay.
check, check, check,
So, well, we were here a minute ago. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, he has a move now. He can move his pawn forward. Huh?
check, check,
So I'm going to have to fight for a draw if I want one, I guess.
check, check,
If he goes to this file, I check and take rook. Yeah, that's it.
Check.
So he had to go back. So I had to settle for the draw there. I finally had forced to draw.
check,
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. He escapes. Thought I had him there. So, well, he's got to move his rook. He can defend this pawn, I guess.
checkmate,
Oh, he mates me. Okay, well, that was a deserved win. He had an advantage there for a while, but he also was losing too. Anyway, I will upload this into a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.